From the shores of its 10,000 lakes, Minnesota looks too serene to be a battleground. But Joe Biden and Donald Trump are treating it like one.
Billionaires in America during this pandemic have made another $300 billion. Hear what I just said? In the middle of the pandemic. They're left to wonder, as a consequence, ordinary folks, who's looking out for me?
Biden has even pledged to terminate our travel ban, jihadist regions. They've already been doing that to you, haven't they? Opening the floodgates to radical Islamic terrorists.
Long a reliably Democratic stronghold, Minnesota hasn't voted for a Republican for president in nearly half a century. But it came close in 2016 when Donald Trump did better than expected in rural and suburban areas. His campaign says the state remains in play this time around. The first test of the election came on Friday when voters in Minnesota and 3 other states cast the first in-person ballots of the presidential polling. Biden's campaign says he will be making a couple stops a week, focusing heavily on early voting states. With the polls open, both candidates are campaigning in the northern mining area known as the Iron Range, once a Democratic stronghold, more recently the site of a pro-Trump rebellion. Biden wants to hold on to a traditionally Democratic state. For Trump, if he can win here in Minnesota, he can lose in one of the other swing states he won last time and still have a path to victory. The death of George Floyd in Minneapolis fueled anti-racism demonstrations across the country and Trump's call for law and order.
When the far-left rioters rampage across Minneapolis, and they rampage across your state, how about your police department? Let's just run for your lives. And it's not their fault. They were told to do that. You have a good police department, you have good police, but they're not allowed to do their job.
The campaign stops on Friday showcased the two men's views on the pandemic. Biden's cautious crowd was socially distanced, masked, and sparse, while Trump supporters were largely maskless, close, and crowded.
Trump has given up on even pretending to do his job. Almost 200,000 lives lost in the last 6 months.
Polls show Biden ahead here, as they showed Hillary Clinton ahead in 2016. But Trump is confidently telling voters to ignore the polls and cast their ballots for him, this time in Minnesota as well. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Minneapolis, Minnesota.